Shalom, shalom, shalom lekulam. Shmi Nasik, Harashi Shema, Anime Paleo, Shahakol Beseda Irkemayom. I am Chief Prince Shema. I pray all is well with you. So today we're going to do something quick. Just going to go over a few things. I entitled this "How to Say I Love You," and a few nuggets that I think will benefit you all. So let's start off by me just telling you all how you would say "I love you." It's a few different ways. I know within our community that's growing in the Hebrew language, um, I commend all of you for doing I commend all of us for doing what we believe our language should be and trying our best to attain that. So again, this is just to bring some nuggets out, some things to consider, some things to look up on your own. But I'm going to provide a few examples of what I'm going to be sharing. All right. So let's start off by me just telling you all, and then I'm going to present some things and show you. All right. So if you wanted to say, I love you, remember we have pronouns. We have subject pronouns. I is a subject pronoun. You is a subject pronoun. If you're starting off with that in your sentence, right? If that is a subject, you're talking about somebody, that you is that subject. Or if you're talking about yourself, I am the subject. But then you might have in that sentence, I being the subject, and then you being the object. Those are all different words in Hebrew. They're different, even though it's the same word, you. You have a subject pronoun being masculine, singular. Then you have a subject pronoun being masculine, plural. Same thing with feminine. Hebrew is a gender-specific language. It has to be based upon the gender and the amount of people that's being spoken to or about. We cannot remove that. The reason why most of us believe, or a lot of us believe, it's just one way is because of the way the scripture is written. The Tanakh is written. Majority of it, when it's talking about an individual, is pointing to a masculine. 90%. I'll say 80, 85, 90% is masculine. All right, we're going to get into it. So just bear with me. Trust me, this will be a good video for you all to watch, listen to, and do your own studies on. So majority of it is masculine. Now, when talking about things with the nouns being feminine, it will address it with the feminine response. I was doing my due diligence, trying to present to you all a way to see when it's being addressed to men and when it's being addressed to women. It's very few when addressed to women. When dealing with Deborah, it shows as it's addressed to her. But if you are someone that don't deal with vowel points, which is okay, I'm not trying to push that, it will be hard for you to know that it's being addressed to her in regards to the feminine nature of the pronouns, because sometimes the pronoun or the nouns has a suffix, right? So some of you know the word lamet kaf, Sophie, or lamet kaf if you only deal with paleo, you don't believe in the added ending letters, then it will be lecha for some of you. But there is a term, or there is a version being lach. You have lecha to you, then you have lach to you, dealing with only the women, right? So I was trying my hardest to find some things. I was going through the Tanakh for a very lengthy amount of time, and I came to this for you all. So bear with me. So here we go. The way that you will say I love you in Hebrew, you're going to say ani being I. Ani oheb. Ani oheb. This is a male speaking. I love. Ani oheb otach. Otak. Otak. If I'm talking to a woman, ani oheb otach. If I'm talking to a male, like say my father, ani oheb otka. Ani oheb otcha. So that I is ani, that you, the object, one person that you're speaking to, is going to be otak if you're talking to a woman, otka if you're talking to a male. The problem with this is if your vocabulary is not large enough, you're going to go to the Tanakh and you're going to see the aleph, the wow, the thou, and the kaf sofi. You're not going to see vowel points. So if your vocabulary is not extensive, you're not going to know it's going to be otka and otak because they're spelt the same. They're spelt the same. So there's no way for you to know that if you're not really big on the pronouns. But we're going to go through the pronouns. Okay, so we have ani oheb otach, ani oheb otka. I'm talking to a male. If you are a woman, you're going to say ani ohebet, ohebet. So I love, I'm loving in the present tense. Ani ohebet otak or ani ohebet otka. If you're talking to one male. Otak if you're talking to one female. Ani ohebet if you are a woman saying it. Now, many of us are saying ahaba. We're saying ahaba. Ahaba is a noun, and it's also, depending on the affliction of that ah, you have ahaba and you have ehaba. One of them is a noun, and the other is a verb. Okay? That verb is past tense, and you're saying she loved. The masculine he loved would be ahab. And I know a lot of you know that. Ahab. Just like with the word remember, zakar. Zakar is not I remember, right? I need zakar, or I don't remember. I need lo zakar. You'll be technically saying he remembered, or I don't he remembered. Zakar past tense. Zoker present tense. Zokeret present tense for feminine. But let's get back to the love you. Okay. So you have ani oheb otach, one woman, a male saying he loves her. Ani oheb otka, man saying he loves one man. Of course, a father, a brother, uncle, right? But if you're saying I love you all right? If you are a male, you're going to say ani oheb et kim. Ani oheb et kim. All right? Forgive me for the noise that's outside. Ani oheb et kim. If you are a woman, you're going to say ani ohebet et kim. I love you all. So ahaba ata, even though it is grammatically not correct, if you were saying it to a group of people, it would be a plurality or singularly incorrect if I'm saying that, if that's making sense to you all. You would have to say, if you wanted to use ahaba, right? You would have to say ahaba etim. Okay, so we're going to get into that. You know, we have different things. This is why it's important to learn the pronouns. You know, we love you to one person. Anachnu ohebim. Anachnu ohebim otcha. If you're talking to one male. We being the subject pronoun, and then the you being the singular to one male. Anachnu ohebim otka. Talking to a woman. Anachnu ohebim otak. If it's all women saying we love, and nachnu ohebot, otach to one woman, we to one woman, and nachnu ohebot, otka to one man. So let's give some examples. We're going to go into, let me see if there's anything that I missed. So I love you to one person. I love you to a group of people, being one person telling them that. We love you to one person. We love you to one person if it's a male or female. All right, so let's get some examples. And I hope I didn't lose you all, but I'm going to show you all some things really quickly. Let me go to the chapters I want us to go to. All right. So I'm going to go through a few of them. We're going to start with Bereshit 9 and 7, okay? We're going to go to Genesis. We're going to go to Genesis 9 and 7. Let me pull this up so I can see. All right. Bear with me, you all. This may be a little bit, but so we got Bereshit 9, and we're going to go to 7. All right. So you all have the English down here for you all, okay? And then the Hebrew is here. So for those of you that's familiar with this Aramaic black script, of course, I don't have anything up that I can put a paleo script for you all, but try to bear with the Aramaic black script. Right here, you see an aleph, a thou, right? Or some people might say tav, and you have a mem or mem sophie. You know that at ta is when it's dealing with one male being the subject. You have at, which if you took this mem off right here, it'll be aleph tau. That's dealing with one female being the subject, saying you. But notice it says, and you be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. This is so the Most High is talking to two people here, right? So you have where Tim, so he's talking to two or multiple people. So when you all say ahaba etah, okay, let me take this off. Ahaba etah, you will technically have to say ahaba etim because you're talking to multiple people, even though that's improper. You're still talking to multiple people, so we can't say etah. We have to say etim. You all, right? You. So when we bring this back up, it says you and you, wa'etim, and you be ye fruitful. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Hopefully that makes sense for that one. Let's go to the next one. We're going to go to Genesis 23 and 4. I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I go to some points to bring out for you all. Give me a second. Where did it go? Genesis 23 and 4. All right, here we go. So Genesis 23 and 4. Okay, what was I wanting to bring out with this? All right, here we go. So this is another example of the plurality, okay? And I'm only bringing out one thing with this. It says, let me click on it. I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. So right here, with you. This is another way of saying you, but you're putting with in it, right? A lot of people will say this is the only biblical way, right? Imachim. You have the ayin, you have the mem, you have the kaf, you have the mem sofi. Amachim, right? There is another way. I use this other way more frequently. It is more modern. It's not modern. They're both biblical. But you're going to hear people say the second one that I'm going to bring to you more. But the reason I'm bringing this out is to show you the plurality. A lot of times we're staying in the singular when we're speaking in Hebrew. So I want to kind of showcase that. We're going to go back to the love in 1 second. All right. We're going to go into the singular and the plural to show how when we're using these root words that is past tense. I want to show that it's always past tense. Zakar, he remembered. It's past tense. But how would you say she remembered? How would you say she remembered? Okay. Keep that in mind. He said, Amar. we would say that that's saying or say, but that's not saying or say. Amar is he said. How would you say she said? We're going to get into that. Okay, let me go to the next one I want us to go to. Let me make sure that I didn't skip over anything. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope that you all learned something so far. Okay, so we went over this already. We see he said it twice. Imachim. All right, let's go to it. So now we're about to go to Genesis, or Bereshit 9 and 11. So remember, this is Imachim. Let's go to Genesis 9 and 11. This is chapters before 23. Now watch this. Watch this. Genesis, or Bereshit 9 and 11. Watch this. Let's click it. And I will establish my covenant, right? Berati, my covenant with you. Remember we was talking about with you. Another way of saying you. The you is supplied with suffix when you're talking about with something, right? Like the word Emmanuel, people say. Emmanuel, in Hebrew, it really is Immanuel. Im, being with, nu, making it plural, with you, Immanuel. We saw that in Bereshit chapter 23. I just took you to, and it said Imachim, Imachim, Immanu, Imachim, with you, Immanu, with us. Immanu, with us, is El. This is when this is important, right? So let's get to what I'm talking about here. So here, Genesis 9:11, Bereshit 9:11 says, and I will establish my covenant with you. Here it is, right? Berati, it, aleph, tau, kaf, mem, itchem. So when I'm saying to you all, and I say, ani mechawe, or ani mitbalel shehakol beseder, right? I hope that you all are okay. Ani mechawe shehakol beseder itchem. Itchem is what I say to you all. It's him with you all. That's what's being said right here in Bereshit chapter 9, verse 11. So when people say Imachim is biblical and Itchem is not, they're incorrect. Most people that are teaching, they're regurgitating what they hear. And many do not speak, like create their own sentences, converse. You know, reading prayers and things like that, that is very important. That is very essential to our walk. Learning prayer, speaking it, learning little sayings, speaking it. But another important thing is us being able to convey and converse on our own. And people that say that Itchem is not biblical is incorrect. And I'm showing you here. Okay. Let's go to something else. What else I have? I have a few places I'm going, you all. It's not going to be long. So that was Genesis 9, or Bereshit 9 and 11. All right. Let's go to Bereshit 21 and 6. Let's see what I have for you all here. I don't even remember why I was taking you all here. Genesis 21 and 6. All right. Is this up already? Let me pull it up. Let me click it, add it back to the stage. Genesis 21 and 6. Let's click on it. Now, this is interesting. And it says, and Sarah said, let me see. And Sarah said, Elohim have made me to laugh, so that all that I hear will laugh with me. So let's go here. This is what the word is being made. Okay. So in Hebrew, it's really saying Tomer Shema, or Tomer Sarah, salakli. Tomer Sarah, so tzachok, right? Tomer Sarah, tzachok asa. Okay. So a lot of people say asa is do, right? La asot is to do. La asot is to do. Asa is the root word. We say that that's do or doing. In order to make something present tense, it would have to be a wow right here. Ose and osa. I'm doing. Ani ose, I'm doing as a male. Ani osa, I'm doing as a female. But right here it says asa. And Sarai said, Elohim hath made. So this made is really saying he made. Okay, let's click on it. So you got a sa, it says to do, right? But this is not going to tell you or bring out that this is really doing with past tense. Okay, but when it says right here in the English, it says hath made. Hath made would be had made, he made. All right, so a sa is past tense, just like zakar is past tense, he made. I'm going to bring that out. It's another word dealing with, zakar is he remembered. I'm sorry. It's another word for making, right? You have a word that is dealing with creating. You know, we got boreh, people say bara. Let's go to that real quick. Genesis 1, right? Se bereshit bara Elohim et hashemayim wa et ha'eretz. So bereshit bara. In the beginning, bara is he made or created. Right here it says, in the beginning, Elohim created. So it's he made. It's not creating. It didn't say Elohim is creating. It said created, meaning past tense. And this is bara would be the root. Bara would be the root. He created. Okay. It's another word in Hebrew called yatsar, yotzer, right? Yotzer, creating or producing, a little smaller than boreh. Boreh is dealing with creation of the world, like what we see here. Yotzer is dealing with producing, right? Producing from the creation. But yatsar, if you see it in the text, it's going to be like, it's going to say he created or he produced. It's past tense. But let's keep going. I don't want to stay on this with you all. We're 22 minutes in. I don't want this to be too long. So that's why I want us to go with this. Let's go to a couple more places. We're going to go to, what is it? Genesis 21. And we did 27 and 4. Let's go to 21 and 6. Better sheet 21 and 6. We're almost done. We got a couple more places, right? Better sheet 21 and 6. Oh, we went here already. But anyway, with this, look at this. Look at this. Let's click on this really quickly. I'm not going to use this. But I'm going to come back to this. Remember this right here. It says Hashemeh, right? Shemeh. Keep that, or Hishmeh. Keep this in mind, you all. But we're not going to deal with this right now. This is going to be one of the later verses that we're going to be going to. So let's go to, this is 27. Let's go 27 and 4. 27 and 4. All right. Now, we saw asa. This is why vowel points is important. People, I understand, but it's important if your vocabulary is not large enough. And this isn't to discourage anyone. This is to encourage everyone to build the vocabulary, because if you don't like to use vowel points or don't want to use vowel points, I support it. The only purpose for vowel points is for those that's trying to build their vocabulary. But once you have your vocabulary down, you don't need it. All right. But let's pull this back up. So we see right here that it says, let me pull it back up. Where did it go? Okay, let me hear this. I have a lot on this one screen, you all. So it says, what it said, Lee, right? So it says, and make me, or make for me, Lee, or make to me. Lee is to me or for me. What it said, Lee, what does it say? Mem amim kasher ahavti. This is what I was trying to bring out. Ahabti wehabi'i. Habi'as, selectively. Habi'ah. So this is telling you to bring. Okay, so it's saying, and make to me food as which I love, or as that I love, right? And bring. So these two right here, this habi'ah and this aseh, these are what you would call imperative verbs. So let me pull this up so I can show you, because it's a command. Okay, let me pull this up. Where is it at? Here we go. Let's share the screen. Give me a second, you all. Appreciate you tuning in. All right. So the make is an action. So it's going to be stemming from la'asot. Okay. So this is something called pe'elim. Hebrew pe'elim is pretty good if you are someone that, you know, really trying to increase your studies as far as understanding past tense, present tense, future tense. Okay. So biblically, we see what I just brought out. It says we'aseh, or you all may say we'asah. The problem with asah is that it means he made. Let's go to it. Past tense. Here we go. Asiti, I did. Right? Asiti, I did. Asah, he did, or he made, to make something, to do something. So asah, he did. Now watch this. When you go down, this is the root that you all are saying. Asah, he did. You go down, this is what you're seeing in the text right here. Do. Esse, right? Esse. See, this is for feminine right here. Asu. This is dealing with plural. We're going to go into that with the last two verses I'm going to take you all to. But esse is the imperative form, commanding you to do something. So when we go back here, let me take this off. Let me share a screen. When we go back to this verse, and he's being commanded to what is said, lead, bring to me, right? This is a command. This is imperative. I want you to do it now. And this ahavti, this is the word for saying I love, this past tense. So sometimes your past tense sometimes will end with a yod, but sometimes it's just the root itself. Not even sometimes, all the time it's the root itself in third person masculine singular. Okay, not trying to get into the terminologies. I'm just trying to give you all an understanding of these. Let's keep going. All right, almost done. A few more places to go. So we went to Genesis 9 and 7. We went to 23 and 4. We went to 9 and 11. We're going to go to Song of Songs of Solomon, right? Solomon, Shlomo, 1 and 7. Okay. And this is going to showcase something. What just happened? Okay, there we go. This is going to show you something. Now, in the beginning of this video, I was telling you all I was trying my best to do the impossible. And what I've been trying to tell most people is that the Tanakh is written mostly and mainly when addressing people in the masculine form. Why? Because it's hierarchy. When the word was brought, it was brought to Moshe. Moshe had to bring it to, of course, Aaron was there, but to the elders. The elders had to bring it to the leaders of the men. I mean, the leaders of the tribes, right? And those men brought it to the family. So the family, those men, the leaders of those family, which was the men, was bringing the instruction to the women and the children. You have your exceptions to the rules with the prophetess, like, Deborah and things, all that type, the judges, those type of things, I should say, selectively. But for the most part, that's why you're always seeing it in the masculine. Okay. So What did I say we was going to? Songs 1 and 7. Let's go to it. We have 2 more places to go, and then we're going to get back to the I love you. Oh, man. Where is it at? There it is. Songs 1 and 7. A little slow-mo, right? So this is saying, you see this title right here, The Bride Confesses Her Love. But let's go to 1 and 7. All right. I'm only going to deal with this. This is a different form for imperative biblically. Okay? This is Hagida Li. Hagida Li. So it's saying, tell to me or tell me. Okay? If you was to tell a male, you would say tagidli. If you would tell one female, you would say tagidili. Okay, but that's not going to be here in this text because it's only dealing with bringing the information to the men because that's the hierarchy. There are instances I had talked the other week with Samson's mother. The Malak was bringing the information to her, and she was bringing it to her husband. The husband to pray to get the information, the confirmation, and then the Malak can still go back to the Isha. So I'm not saying that the women are not being dealt with in the spirit by the Most High, because that's a lie. Any man that teaches that is not being led by the Most High. I'll tell you that right off the bat. But in the sense of hierarchy and in the sense of the passing of the scriptures, this is how it was. Okay, let's keep going. So Hagidi Li. Now watch this. She ahaba. Remember, you all say ahava or ahaba. There are 2 different ones. You have a noun ahaba, and then you have a verb being past tense, being she had. Okay, this right here, if it was just by itself, it would say she ahaba, that she had. But since this is talking about the soul, right? Nefesh, this is saying nefshi, my soul. So it's saying, tell me, or tell to me, or tell me that the nefesh had, right? Love. It sounds weird, but it's a little different trying to explain the grammar of the Hebrew. Okay? Let me give you an example of what I mean so you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, perfect example. To do. I want to do. Ani rote la'asot. It makes sense, right? I want to do. But what if I say, I can do? I'm going to say, ani yakol, or if you're a woman, ani yakola, ani yakol la'asot. Wait a minute, I just said, ani rote la'asot. I want to do. So why is ani yakol la'asot? I can do. It's not I can do. It's I'm able to do. So it's like it's little nuances with Hebrew sometimes. So it might not make sense from an English standpoint. So she haba nafshi is really saying tell me, or tell to me that my soul love. I know the translation is a little different than what I'm saying. So tell me, O thou, whom I love, whom my soul loveth. So in a sense, this loveth, it seems like it's being in the present tense, but it's talking about like I had loved and I'm continuing to love. But the tense that's being used right here, ahaba, is past tense. And I'm going to show you all right now. It's not many examples to show this in the Tanakh. Again, I had a hard time trying to show this because many things dealing with feminine is only dealing with the noun, like, cities and things like that. But I'm going to show one last example, and that's going to be dealing with Ribka or Rebecca. And you'll be able to see that example of the action or the verb being used from a feminine standpoint. But let's go here really quickly. This was a lot longer than what I thought, but we're going to work with it. All right, so we're going with love, okay? We're going with love. Here we go. Let's pull it up. All right. So as you all can see, le'ehov, to love, le'ehov, right? Ani oheb, ani ohebet. Pay attention to these right here. I don't know if you all can see it. I know I can probably zoom in, but I don't want to mess it up. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. That's Muslim right here. All right, so we have oheb, we have ohebet. Pay attention to this right here. Okay. In the text is something called deflective cholam. I know a lot of people don't know that, and they may think that's something that's added by the Masoretes. That's cool. That's not the discussion today, but I'm just trying to show you what you can see, and that's the past tense of things of that nature. Okay. So you have oheb in biblical text. You might see only the aleph, the hey, and the bet. Okay. Then right here you see the aleph. Let's throw this wow away. This is what you'll see in the text: aleph, hey, bet, tau. Wait a minute. We just saw a haba with a hey at the end. So why is this here? What is the purpose of this tau right here? Okay, let's keep going down. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Here's the future tense. Now, remember I was telling you all the future tense, the root words, is going to be past tense. Ahaba is he loved. Watch this. She loved. Ahaba. Ahaba. This is the verb, past tense. Ahaba. She loved. Ahab, he loved. Ahaba. She loved. But then there's a noun, love, and that's ahaba. Okay? The only way you will know which one is being used is to build your vocabulary. So that way, when you're reading the sentence, context clues, if you don't know all the words, will let you know that this is talking about she loved. Or if your vocabulary is strong, you'll be able to catch it. All right, let's keep going. We have one more spot to go to, and that is Isaiah 47:8. Okay. So this one that I just showed you all was dealing with love, okay? Sera ani oheb, ani ohebet. We was talking about ohebim, right? Ohebot. I'm going to see while I'm recording right now for you all if I can find the ohebim in the text. I can find it really quick. But these are showing you the tenses, singular and plural. You have to know this. All right, let's go. Isaiah chapter 47, verse 8. This is the last place that we're going. Maybe I'll do a part 2 to try to go more in depth, especially if you all have questions to what I'm bringing out. I was going to go a couple different places, but again, some of you all do not like the vowel points, and that's okay. I'm not, against your school of thought. So I wouldn't have been able to show you the suffix to show you how that's dealing with feminine, when it's speaking to a woman. All right. So Isaiah 47:8. So let's go to it now. Isaiah 47:8. All right. So we was talking about Amar, okay? Lomer, to say. Lamar, to say. Lomer, to say. Ani omer is I'm saying if you are a man. Ani omeret, I'm saying if you are a female. I said amarti is both of you say it. Amarti. But watch this though. Watch this. Let me click on this. I'm about to show you all 2 things. You all ready? Here we go. Therefore, hear now this. I'm reading in the English. Thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I, this is an important pronoun right here, you all. Took me a while to find this. I am and none else beside me. Okay, let me click on this really quick. That's not the word I'm looking for. Okay, so it doesn't have that. So Ephes is being dealing with 0. All right, so in thy heart I am. We see this as being ani. Okay, this word for I is ani. We have two words in biblical text, anochi and ani. Anochi is more poetic, is really going in depth. They're both biblical, ani and anochi. Okay, but we're dealing with ani right now. Let's keep reading. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I. So this, you know, this is addressing one person. I am and none else beside me, addressing one person. I shall not sit as a widow. Okay. Widow. Neither shall I know the loss of children. So the beginning says this. Weta Shem, right? Shem-E. Therefore, hear now. Okay, so most of us, we say Shema. When we're telling people to be like, you know, here right now, we're commanding them to listen. Shema. We're telling people to shut up, right? We're telling. The problem is Shema is for one person. Okay? This word, Shemi, it has a yod after the ayin. So Shemi is a command as well, but it's talking to a woman. How do I know this? This word right here, zot. Okay, so if I say, I want this, I need to say et ze, right? Ze is masculine for the word it, or this, or that, really. Okay? But if it's zot, zot is the feminine. So if the command is Shema, right, it will say Shema ze. And now, hear this. We'eta Shema ze. But this is saying we'eta, not eta as in you, because this is a ayin. Okay, right here. Eta. This is another way to say now in Hebrew. You have akshal and you have eta. So we'eta, and now Shem-E, hear zot, it. So this Shem-E is feminine and it's a command. Let's go to it, you all. We're going to come back. We're not done. We stand on this verse. Let's remove this. And let's, where am I trying to? Stop sharing this. I got to hurry up anyway. Got some family time. But I want to make sure this really helps us to understand why it's important to learn conversational Hebrew. It's good to know all the other things. Everything is great. Every aspect of learning the language, reading, learning the different scripts and stuff, that is amazing. But it's very important to learn for us how to converse and how to differentiate different things in the text and how it relates to how we can speak modernly. Okay. So let me share this. We're going to go to lishmoa. Okay. Lishmoa. That is how you say to hear, you all. So just saying Shema is not how we say to hear. You know, if I was to say, you need to hear me. Etim terechim lishmoa oti. Right? Etim. Remember, we saw that in the text. We saw etim. And I'm telling you all, terechim, you got sarik, dealing with one man, serika, dealing with one female, but you would not see that in the text, you all. Well, you may. I'll search that. Let me not speak too quickly. Okay? So etim terechim lishmoa. So that's what this is, to hear. You see this? To hear, to listen. It's going to be lishmoa. Okay, let me go down and show you what I'm saying. Here it is, lishmoa, to hear. But then in the text, we see this, Shema. This is what you're seeing. Okay? I'm just double checking. I always like to double check before I tell you all wrong, anything wrong. So Shem'i is what we see right here in the text. What did it say? We'eta Shemi Zot. This is talking to one woman. Wait a minute. How can you say that not see? He's talking to the people. No. It says Shemi, to one woman. Let's prove that with the text. Let's prove that with the text. Shemi. That's when you're commanding one person. Matter of fact, hold on one second. Let me go back. So what you all should be saying when you're talking to a group of people and you want them to hear and listen, you're going to be saying Shem'u. Shem'u. Okay, let me see how much. I got 24% left. Shem'u is what you're trying to say. Okay, Shem'u. I know we deal with Shema and we're putting that on everyone. I know Shema, oh Yisrael, right? I get that. But we're seeing in the text here, Shemi, okay? So let's go with this and stop sharing. Let's go back to the text. All right. So we have Wa'eta Shem'i Zot. Then right here, look at this, you all. Ha Yoshebet. Yoshebet. So we know that this is dealing with a feminine present because it's saying Yoshebet versus Yosheb. Okay. Let's do I have that available? I could make it available. Let's go to it, you all. So Yoshebet. So this is when it's talking to a woman, right? So therefore, hear now this: thou that art given to pleasures that dwellest, that sits, right? Or that sitting. So you're dwellest carelessly. So you're sitting, you're constantly present. Yoshebet, right? We're almost done, y'all. I'm gonna use this verse is amazing because it's hitting all the things I really want you all to see. Let's share the screen. I could use to here because we don't need this anymore, but I want to show this. Let's go back. Let you all see what I'm doing. Let's put to sit. Shebet. All right, watch this. So I'm sitting. Ani Yosheb. Ani Yoshebet. That's what we just saw in the text. We saw this in the literal text, the Tanakh. Ani Yoshebet. Okay, so this is feminine. I sit for a woman. This is a woman saying, I'm sitting. Right? Ani Yoshebet. Ani Yoshebet Aksha. I'm sitting now. Okay. Let me take that off. I just wanted to show that. This is important. Very important. I don't know why I got this going around saying Shabbat Shalom. It is not the Shabbat, you all. Where am I at? Let's go back to here. All right. So, Hayoshevet Lebetech, right? Sure. Here it is. Here it is. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that sayest, right? So that sayest is not saying that you're saying right now in this moment. It's saying that sayest, it could be now, but this word is being used as amra, right? She said. Now prove that shemizot is talking to a woman, right? It's addressing the women or the woman, one person. We see this right here in this word here being ani. So therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that has said, that sayest, right? She said, has said, in thine heart, in your heart, I am. So it's talking to a woman. And it's amra. This is the last thing, last point, because we have Amra right there. Take this off and bring this up, and we are going to be done. I'm going to have to pull it up for you all to see it. Let's go ahead and use to sit again. So let's put to say. Man. Lehagid is another way to say you all in Hebrew. Hagid is what you're going to see in the text. But I'm trying to see. Yeah, there we go. Amar. All right, so here's the present tense, right? Omer, ani omer. I'm saying, right? Ani omeret. I'm saying as a female. Amarti. I said as one person. Amarnu. We said, right? Amarta. You said. Amart. You said if you're talking to a woman. This is he said. Amar. And the text has showed in Isaiah that we was just in, Amra, she said, okay? She said. And that's why in Isaiah, what we just pulled out is saying that saith in her heart, I am. And that's Amra. And with that, I yield you all. Let's close out by saying this. When you are dealing with Hebrew, it has nouns. It has adjectives. I could have went a little more deeper with the word love because there are a few different ways of saying it. It's going to say it in the past tense, as I pulled out. It's going to say in the future tense. I didn't go to that because it's a lot. It can be confusing for those that may not know your present tense, your future tense, and your past tense. What I'm just trying to show you all, which is what I showed you with your shebet, right? I'm sitting, I need your shebet, or I love will be I need ohebet. It's the same thing. The patterns are the same. So in closing, ahaba atah is biblically incorrect and grammatically incorrect. You're literally saying either one or two things. She said you, she loved you, ahaba atah, right? Or you're saying the noun, ahaba, and you're talking to one person, etah. But if you're trying to tell the group that you love, I love you, you're going to say, ani oheb et kim. Ani oheb et kim, if you are a male. Ani ohebet et kim, if you are a female saying it to a group of people. Okay? If you are saying it to your husband and you are a woman, ani ohebet otka. All right? If you are saying it and you are a man saying it to your wife, ani oheb otak. Ani oheb otak. If you are saying my parents is an example of love. My parents is love. Ahorim sheli. Ahaba. Right? Love being that noun. If there's any questions, any comments, please leave it. I just wanted to give you all this information. Don't want to debate. I won't debate. But I will assist and help if it's a true desire to learn and understand. Shalom, everyone. May the Most High bless and guard you all. Ibreeth, Yahweh Shmorechem. Shalom, shalom.
dream, that dream is green. And I don't mean material things. Freedom to the land, to woman and man. As we take up for what we stand. Better days and better nights. As we stand and unite. We're one and the same. Why is it so hard not to point and to blame? Better sheet, get our houses in order and we'll see the peace. There are steps that we must take if we wanna see.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. Couple big niggas cross America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us.
The sake of us, the
I
sake
see
of
my
us.
people rising, no more stopping us. Couple billion niggas cross America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. No more feeling, telling me beneath. What a beautiful moment and a sight.